Yay. And you can see us very well. Okay. They can hear and see us. Okay.
Excellent. Good.
All right. Welcome, guys. We're just going to give it 2 minutes and then we will get started. So excited to have you here.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me along.
You're most welcome. I see we're matching today as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that wasn't confer in any way, was it? No?
No,
Did we just know?
Exactly. These are the tips and tricks you're going to learn, people.
Yeah.
Very exciting. Okay. Okay, so while we're waiting, I'll just go over what we're going to be doing today. So welcome to our very first headshot challenge. I was really nervous this wasn't going to work, so I'm super happy to see people here. So what is it? So basically, right now, obviously the world is a little bit crazy, and this is the perfect time where you actually have time to work on your online content. And obviously your profile picture is a very important part of your online content. And why is that? So it's people are interested in people. They don't want to buy from logos or big businesses. They're interested in stories, and your profile picture, seeing your face, is an important part of that. So we thought, why not do a headshot challenge? So this challenge for anyone who has a logo instead of a picture on their business page. You know who you are. If you have an outdated or an informal, non-professional picture on LinkedIn, and basically, or if you've just never ever taken a picture of yourself that you love, because I know the selfie struggle where you're there like with 400 pictures later, you're like, I just need one good picture. So hopefully all the tips you're gonna learn this week will help you be able to craft the perfect DIY selfie, headshot, whatever it is you're trying to do. So how it's gonna work is we're gonna have 4 experts this week. We're gonna have an image stylist, who's the lovely Jane, who we have today. We're gonna have a hair consultant, a makeup artist, and a recruiter to all talk about the do's and don'ts for creating the perfect shot. On the last day, I'm gonna tie everything up and give you posing tips. The one secret posing tip that everyone uses, including Kim Kardashian, to get those perfect selfies. So you have to tune in for that. And talk about background and location and just help you wrap it up quite nicely. So today, I'm gonna get started. We have Jane, the lovely Jane Sumner, with us. And she has been in the image industry for over 30 years. And she has styled 3,000 women, over 3,000 women. So literally, like, anything that Jane doesn't know about styling and colors, like, isn't worth knowing. So I'm super excited to have Jane here. And I'm just gonna hand over to the lovely Jane. And and we'll get started. You can type in your questions in the chat box, and Jane can't see them, but I can. So when she's done, I will ask the questions for you. Okay. All right.
Thank you very much, Wani, for inviting me along. It's great to be here, and lovely that all you ladies can join us. And I would really like to sort of start with what I was talking about earlier on, is about the authenticity of the look that you want to bring to your selfie. A lot of people assume as an image consultant that I'm going to tell you lots of things about what you should and shouldn't do, and it's important that the look is right for you, that you feel authentic. And one of the most important things I get people to think about, and this is the first tip, is to think about what your brand is. How do you want to come across in that first couple of seconds when someone clicks onto your website or onto your picture on Instagram or Facebook? What's the immediate thoughts that you'd like people to have about you? And I often get people to think about some key adjectives, some good describing words. It may be, in my case, of course, it's friendly and approachable. You know, I want people to be able to open up and talk to me easily and quickly. And so to that end, you know, colour and smiley face and interesting background is useful. To be inspirational as well. For some of you, it might be actually that you need something that's professional, that you feel is efficient, maybe a little bit more corporate even. So to that end, the colours and the style of top or outfit that you choose will be reflected in that. And a lot of that is taken out or taken into consideration with something called style personality, which I won't bore you with today, but it's really interesting to see what we choose and what we don't choose. So that's my first tip. Actually sit down before you start any of this process and have a little think about what it is, what's your number one message that you want to send across. So clearly, Wani and I wanted to be quite visual, we wanted to be quite inspirational, so we've both chosen a shade of red today. So that's really interesting. It's very energizing as well. So that's, again, you know, if you're feeling tired, colour is really important. And as you can see on the screen here, we both come out of the screen, we actually pop. My red is a little bit softer and more gentle than Wani's red. Wani's red's a little bit stronger, but that's absolutely fine. It's about your general colourings. Some of you may have already had a colour analysis, so you'll know a little bit more about what I'm talking about. But for those of you that haven't, our undertones of our colours can be either quite warm or quite cool. And it's sometimes finding out which colours look best on you. So you might have had somebody say to you in the past, oh, I love you when you wear X colour or Y colour. And if that's the case, that's a good clue. You know, you look healthy and well in something, another great clue. So think about the things you've already got in your wardrobe that actually have that response. If you've got colours that you wear and people say to you, oh, you're looking a bit sallow, or you're looking a bit tired, you know, and you're thinking, well, I feel perfectly all right, thank you very much, and I've got my makeup on today, then it's probably not the best colour. So I just wanted to give you a very quick difference here, because I've got exactly the same top, but in a much paler colour. Now you can see the background behind me is quite pale shade. So if I was wearing a pale colour with a pale background, this is what could happen to me. I begin to disappear. You can't really see me very well. I start to look a bit pale. Now, if I'm going to wear this sort of colour, what I probably want to do to put around my neck is put a bit of colour next to it. So here you can see a little bit of red, bit of colour right next to my face, suddenly starts to make the pale not look so pale. Much better. So it's making that decision as to whether you need colour and what colour your background might be. But that's Wani's department, so I'm not going to tread on her toes as far as that's concerned. I'm sure she'll be doing lots about that. So thinking about the colours that make you look healthy and well. I know some of you may be less confident about wearing makeup, but hopefully the next section when we do cover makeup, you'll become more confident with it. But also the two tie up very much together. So again, you can look healthy thinking about just colour on its own. You'll also notice, you see, we just knew, doing block colour. So a block colour is much less, how can I describe it? Draws more attention to you, to your face. If you're wearing pattern, it can start to look busy, particularly things like strong stripes or checks, you know, big bold patterns. We're going to be looking at the pattern, we're not going to be looking at you. And that's really important as well. So it might be your fave top and everyone says, oh, I love you in it, but it's probably not the best for a selfie shot, is probably what I'm saying to you. So something that's plainer. If you say to me, do you know what, Jane, all I've got is pattern tops and no plain tops, then maybe a plain scarf around it to maybe break it up a bit more would be useful. The other part about all of this is also thinking about this area of your body. And certainly an image, I often get lots of questions, either someone's got a longer neck like I have, or maybe they've actually got a shorter neck, and what should they do as far as that's concerned? Well, short necks definitely don't need filling in. So if you're thinking about wearing a scarf or you want to hide the double chin, the worst thing that you can do is to fill it in. You actually want to have a lower scoop neckline or a V-neck so that it actually opens up the chest, so your neck will gradually look longer. If you've got a longer neck as I have, then you can fill it in with a scarf, as you saw me do earlier, or you could have a slightly higher neckline as well. If, on the other hand, you're considering not your neck, but you're thinking about your boobs, and if you're a boobalicious sort of girl, where you find if you fill in this part, you look very wide or you look very boobylicious, you might be wanting a lower scoop or even a V, which will again help to minimise the look of the boobs. If, on the other hand, you've got smaller boobs, then you might want to be filling in the neck. You can wear frills, you could wear a much higher neck. All of those things will make a big difference. So it's just thinking carefully around those different areas, which will give you the balance that you're looking for. So trying a few different things out is really important. I would suggest that you take a few snaps of yourself, a few selfies, to see how you look in different colours and how you look in different necklines, because it's much easier to see that as a photograph of yourself than it is just looking in the mirror. I'm sure Wani will probably agree with me on that you need to really sort of see that. So through the week, you'll begin to build up a portfolio of different pictures and ideas. And I'm very happy if anyone is particularly unsure and you'd like to come back to me through the week and say, Jane, what do you think about X or Y? Then, this is all part of what we're hoping to do to help you this week, is to give you the confidence so you've got that perfect headshot. So I'm up for anyone who wants to contact me with just, a couple, not a whole album full, but if you've worked out a few and you say to me, Jane, what do you think? I'm very happy to receive those, and it'd be lovely to work with some of you lovely ladies. So have we got any questions, Wani, or anything that you'd like me to cover off a little bit more?
Sorry, I'm just I'm muting myself. Thank you. That was super helpful. I particularly love the visual of having the white and the scarf. And can really makes a big difference to see, how you kind of blend into the background and how even the scarf and the white top really brought it out. So let me see if there are any questions at the moment. Any questions? Any questions? People are talking about the colors that suit them. Natasha says blue or vibrant green. She has lovely, she usually has blonde hair and sometimes pink hair. So what is usually the top tip you give to people, like if they say, because I know sometimes I work with stylists when someone's coming for their headshot, but if someone is just saying, oh, I'm going to take pictures, what do you think I should do and what colors do you think will work best for me? Is there like a list of questions to give them, or what are the things you ask them to think about before they actually get the pictures done?
The first question is, how do you want to come across? What do you want to use the photographs and the pictures for? Mm-hmm. From that, I can give much stronger guidelines as to how we come across and how we dress. That's really an important part. Also thinking about the colour of your logos and your brands, so that the two can, tie in with one another. Excusing the pun, but I've got quite a few colleagues who want to draw in the colours of their logo into what they're wearing, and that makes a lot of sense, really, because if it's going to be on a website next to some graphics that are being done in those colours, you don't want a sort of like a clashing colour against it. So if you've got sort of fuchsia pink on, but your logo's got lots of orange in, it might not work as well. So it's sort of thinking about that.
Okay. And are there any colors that like universally would work on different skin tones and different skins? Are they go-to colors, and are they also colors that very few people can wear? For me, I always think neon colors are a little bit scary. Even if it's in your logo, should you really be using it? So are there any rules around that?
Yeah, there are some universal colors that everyone can wear. One of them is called teal. So it's sort of like a bluey greeny colour. It's been quite popular in the last sort of couple of years, and that works on everybody. There's a lot of neutral colours which can also work, like navy and the greys and things like that, but they're not very exciting when it comes to actually having a headshot. So it's really about the undertone of the colour. If the colour pops, it's usually better, but you can often see for yourself, when you see the colour, is the colour wearing you, is the question you want to ask yourself.
Yeah.
Do I see me, or do I see the colour first?
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
That's the way that I would work it. On some people, brighter colours, too brighter colours, like the neons or the very sort of sharp colours, come in front of the individual. Whereas for others, it's the opposite.
Okay.
You know, so Wani's got a really bright red on there, and it looks incredible on her. So it, you know, it doesn't detract from her look. If I had a red that was that bright, the red would come in front of me. Okay. Whereas the red that I'm wearing is more of a pinky. It's a more muted colour, as we sometimes call it, or softer. So then it doesn't stand in front of me, but it still pops in front of a screen.
Okay. And what is more important? Are we looking at our skin tone? Are we looking at our hair color? Like, what has a greater impact, or in terms of what colors we choose? Because hair color changes a lot, right? As well.
Yeah, we think about three things. So we're thinking about our hair color, our eye color, and our skin tone. So it's the three things that work together. If we've got some strong hair color in, that can actually make quite a difference to the colors that work for us at different times in our lives.
Yeah.
And also, if we've decided to change more than 50% our hair color, that can make a difference to the colors that work successfully. And I'm sure some of the ladies out there have found, if they've had, you know, a dramatic difference in hair color, they've either suddenly had to wear a stronger lipstick color or less lipstick color, or they've decided that some of the clothes they're wearing just don't seem to work as well as they did before. So it's a combination of factors that really are important. So really just grab a few items of clothing. It could be pillows, it could be a duvet cover, it could be anything, towels in different colors, you know, and try some that are in the cooler categories. And I've got a sort of a list of some of those, like the cobalt blues and the emerald greens. They tend to be sort of cooler colors, for example. And then you've got those that are much warmer, like the oranges and the yellows. You know, which one makes you look sallow and devitalized, and which one actually gives you that uplift in color, which one makes you look healthier, is what we're looking for.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you so much, Jane. So Natasha says, I always want to come across as approachable, and I'm quite a joker. This is true. Sometimes she worries that she'll appear unprofessional, so then she does second guess what photos she posts. So for what do you say for someone she's very friendly, very approachable? She does, I know Natasha, so she's into Facebook ads,
right.
online
so
strategy.
Quite creative. You
Exactly.
know, when it comes to something like that, the creative industry, you know, you can get away with a lot more color.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? It's about being authentic to yourself. You know, our vibe attracts our tribe, is what I say.
I love that.
So,
I feel that our vibe attracts our tribe. Yeah.
Yeah. So the sort of people that you want to work with will be attracted to the sort of way that you are as a personality and the way that you dress. We have a particular lady in networking, and she is an accountant, and she likes to dress very casually. And so that's absolutely fine. And she doesn't want to dress as a, you know, suited and booted accountant. So she is choosing a route that works for her and with the sort of people that she wants to attract. And I think this is where it comes back to your whole brand image and awareness, and what I spend quite a bit of time talking to people about first. So they really get that set in their minds. Very few people really consider themselves, particularly if you've come out of that corporate environment where you've worked for other people. You haven't had to think about it before. But becoming self-employed, you know, our face and who we are is our brand. We are our own brand.
Very true. Love that. That's great. So there you go. You are free, Natasha, to be yourself. And Natasha's like, she loves that. So I love that, because sometimes she has pink hair as well. So it's great. So
Fabulous.
There you go. And Linda says she's wearing teal, which is a good universal color, but it does have Hollister written on it. So she's not sure it'll be great for a photo. So,
No, we need to keep the logos off. Definitely.
I love it. And then Jackie Smith says, this is very interesting. Jane, you look stunning. You are glowing. I agree.
Thank you, Jackie.
And Susie loves saying the saying, which I do as well, our vibe attracts our tribe. Yeah, so I really love that. Well, thank you so much, Jane. I promise to keep this bite-sized. So, and since there are no more questions at the moment, I am going to wrap it up. But guys, ladies, thank you so much for joining. You can join our Facebook group, and Jane will be in there. You can post pictures in there.
Yeah.
And ask questions if you're not sure about colors. Also, we're having a prize drawer. I think Jane has a little gift for us.
Oh, so I have, yes.
I'm excited.
And just to add, if anybody would like me to email them a worksheet, I've got a PDF sheet of the sort of tips and hints I've been through today, then I'm very happy to email that out to anybody. You can just PM me privately, and that would be fine. And any other information, then do have a look at me on my website.
All right, fantastic. And we'll share all that in the Facebook group. So thank you so much, ladies. Tomorrow we're going to have our makeup expert join us. And, by the end of the week, we'll be able to tie everything together. And the ladies say thank you so much, that they enjoyed it. And thank you so much, Jane. It has been great fun.
Yeah, ever so welcome, Wani. Lovely to meet all of you lovely ladies. Take care.
Made it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I'm going to have to figure out how to end this now.
Keep smiling.